What's up, guys? I'm Bobby with Camplife Customs, and this is the Après 144. So the Après 144 is built on an all-wheel drive chassis. We really like the new motor, which has dual turbo, 4-cylinder diesel, that is just kind of badass, and it really rips. I'm really stoked on this build because of a ton of features that are full custom that have never been done before. Front to back, this thing has every option. It has a 12-volt air conditioner, all the lighting exterior, the best suspension components, best wheels and tires, 800 amp hours of battery, and we're gonna walk you through all of it right now. We're gonna show you the exterior, but first we're gonna walk you through the interior. Come check it out. So first and foremost, I really love the colors. It's all blue and brass with a marble theme that came out just as clean as it gets. You have this flip up table here, obviously for the swivel chair. Tons of workspace inside this van. I mean, this is a 144 and it's got a full indoor shower and just about everything that you can put in a van. We did thin-scape countertops, which gives you that marble vibe without putting real marble in here and adding all that weight. Everything has this brass accent, which just really shines nice. All of the trim, you're never gonna bust a corner while kicking it coming in. All of the floor trim, and then the trim around the shower was just such an elegant touch. With the shower, we have this Nautilus door, which rolls itself up, and is kind of self-squeegeeing or self-cleaning. It works really well, and we've never really had any issues with them. Climbing inside, it's super easy to close, and then super easy to open. You know, this shower fixture is kind of like next level. It's got 4 different options, 3 different sprayers, one for the feet, and then 2 different shower heads. And we'll kind of walk you through and show you how some of that stuff works here in a little bit. Our shower fixture is super special. We love it, and I'm really stoked. It'll give you your temperature readout. It'll even give you your run time if you're really trying to be efficient on your water. But you just turn your dial in your temperature. You can leave it at that temperature, and then you just kind of switch between your different buttons. You have the rain shower. Then you have the big guy that'll come at you. You also have the little sprayer, which is on control, so you'll pop that out and you can rinse feet off, do whatever you need to with it. And then you have this little foot sprayer on the bottom here. And you can put your feet up against there and rinse your feet off. So we really like that fixture, super impressed by that thing. So we have a dry flush toilet, which like completely is the only option. It's our very favorite. You will not smell yourself in the evening if you run one of those. But we have that on a pull-out drawer in the shower so that it gets out of your way while you're showering. And it just comes out, locks in place so that when you're really gripping tight on that thing, it's not going to come out from under you. And then you just hit that lock and pop it back, and it locks itself in, and you're good to go. Couple different really cool accents that I'm really stoked on were these little touches of brass. And this is all real brass. I mean, we probably have $2,000 worth of brass in this van. It's crazy. When we walk through here, you guys will see all of the different handles and the locking mechanisms that are on these drawers. Really went the extra mile and put the extra touch on it. This is an Norcold refrigerator that has a top kind of a radius on the back side of it so that it fits the upper side of these vans. It really fits and keys in really nice to save space. And also, you know, brings your refrigerator now up to waist height, so you're not having to bend down and search for things. At the end of our kitchen counter, we have a flip-up countertop. Works as a nice workstation, but also a prep space for food and what have you when you're making a bigger meal and this isn't quite enough for you. It's really a hefty spot, so you're not really going to stand a chance of breaking it, but we really like this touch. And it's kind of an essential thing that we like to include in most of our builds. And I think most of our customers really appreciate us doing it because it gives them a workspace. Most of our customers, most van lifers are remote workers, and so they get to enjoy this space a lot. Boom. So in the kitchen, we put a inset, really nice black sink with a really nice brass faucet, and we really like the way it works. And it's got a really nice sprayer. You can just turn it straight over, and it won't spill out of the sink or anything like that. And then it's got a really cool spray option that you can spray all your veggies off with and everything. Overhead, we have a small cabinet with some really cool lighting underneath. Gives you all the lighting you need when you're cooking and prepping food and everything. They have all of these different cabinet doors have a really cool locking mechanism that is one-off. And when you just open this up, you got some storage in here. We've got a battery monitor, our inverter button, and then a S-Pod touch control for all of our lighting. What's really nice about that is we can take our main LEDs and we can dim them down and go up and down with them. We can turn that on, off, and we can dim that one down as well and create a nice mood inside the van. But this is actually a controller that's designed for off-road racing, off-road use, so it's really a high-end controller that'll last a long time. Underneath the countertop, we have 4 consecutive drawers. All of them have the same locking mechanism that make it really nice and secure so that your stuff's not going to open. As long as you remember to lock your drawers. We've had customers that forget and come around a corner and one of their drawers rips out. But little key tip, always lock your drawers while you're driving. Underneath the sink, we have a big door that goes with a ton of storage underneath. Also has the operating control for the heated floors as well as your Fugatti hot water heater. And that Fugatti hot water heater is really a special unit because we plumb it to one of the small Coleman camp stove bottles. And one of those bottles will actually heat consecutively 60 gallons of water. This van has, I think, a 46-gallon capacity, so well over a full capacity. You'll run hot water on, and it'll only be on one propane tank. So we're really proud of that unit. We think it's a pretty special unit. So one of my very favorite features in this van is the rear dinette with the bed lift above. In the 144, in order to fit a full-size bathroom, you typically would have to sleep sideways. And that is a really big challenge when you are trying to accomplish that with a bed lift. Your bed platform is always limited to the width of the very tallest point of the van. So what that gives you is a much narrower bed platform when you're trying to sleep side to side. So to accomplish that, we've got really creative. We put window flares in to be able to give you that length. But then when you drop it down, we made for a tri-fold mattress so that once it gets down to level, each side has a cushion that will fold into place and fill those gaps so that you have a comfortable night's sleep. And I'll demonstrate that for you. So we bring this thing down, and it'll go down damn near countertop height. And once you're down to your bottom level, that's when you fold your cushions out to the side and you make your bed, and you have a really nice big bed. Now obviously in this platform we have the capability of doing bunk beds to where you could sleep 2 in this converting dinette and also sleep 2 on top. But in this kind of orientation, obviously this is kind of more for a couple to sleep and to have ease of use when making the bed. Not having to convert so much, just touch of a button, bed drops down, put some cushions out, and you're ready to rock. If it was me, I'd probably keep all my blankets in there and then scrunch them up while we're cruising. And then when it's time for bed, it's just simple touch of a button or Crashy Chan. So once your bed is all the way up, now you have a really nice, comfortable dinette situation here. This would seat 4 comfortably. I mean, if you were having a good time camping, you could probably seat 6 around this table and play cards, have dinner, what have you. It's a really nice, inviting, comfortable space. The bamboo gives a nice elegant feel to it, the bamboo bezels. Having the window flares really gives it a bigger feel in here. And then the LED strip lighting, I mean, just makes it, it really tops it off. And you can also dim those down, so you can really set the mood with your friends and whoever you're hanging with. This table actually has a collapsible base, so you can press this down and it sits on rails under here, and this makes for a nice bed. And we also include a nice little leaf that fills that gap as well to make a nice sleeper for you down here. If you really take a close look in here, every single piece of wood has a fastener, where it's not just glued. And wherever a fastener is, there is a Prince wood plug, and it's, you know, stained individually cut, individually inserted and glued, and then sanded down to be perfect match. So I mean, the finishing on this thing is just next level. So on all of these finishes, to achieve this color, we used an early American stain on an amber bamboo plywood, and then we actually do a monocoat on everything as a varnish. And it really holds up, and it also gives the customer the ability to touch things up in the future if they need to. The Après 144, it really is always going to have pretty much all the bells and whistles. We ended up putting Owl Vans mule carriers with a big storage box, black Rhino wheels with the Yokohama, so we put the spare tire carrier on the mule. A really special feature in our Après is the dual fresh water tanks. So you have an interior 22-gallon and then another 22-gallon that's in the spare tire area. So you have dual capacity, you have way more water capacity than you'd normally have if you just ran the tank inside. We did an Illuminous rack with exterior lighting on all four corners. We did a really cool bottom quarter panel wrap so that the truck is protected really well. Like we spoke about before, the flares so that you can have the sideways sleeper with the bed lift. Some high steps, so there's more ground clearance for this thing, so it's a little bit more off-road capable. We ended up doing the Van Compass 6.3 suspension kit, which lifts that thing up and just makes it look burly. And now it can actually handle these bigger 285, 70, 18-inch wheels. So they're pretty big tire for a Sprinter. Typically, the biggest you'll see is about a 265. And then we did a wrap to protect the hood. These Baja Designs lights are on low capacity right now, and they are blinding. They're kicking my butt right now. But we also did a nice Baja bumper with the Warn winch, and I think that's a 9,800-pound winch, so that thing will really get this thing where it needs to go. You need something heavier with one of these rigs because these vans are not light after they're built. And then above on either side, we did overhead lighting so that you have you know, an ability to scope, you know, left to right while you're off-road, but also while our Fiamma F45 awning is out, you still have lighting that comes underneath the awning and illuminates your floor as you're stepping out of the van. Or if you have it out and you have a little barbecue situation and you're cooking, you can have that illuminated and not be in the dark. So guys, that's the Après 144. We're super proud of it. One of our top of the line builds. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out. If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe.